Hello everybody, I'm Joey and I hope you're seeing me live either on Facebook or YouTube. I'm using a new software program to help me go live in both places and I'm still learning it. So hopefully you're finding me there. If you are, I would love for you to say hello, or whenever you come on. If you're watching replay, I would love for you to say hello on replay too. I'm going to pull up the comments to see if I can see anybody's on yet. It takes a while sometimes for the connection to make to your Facebook page or your laptop, computer, phone, whatever you're watching on. So make sure you say hello. We are having a sunny day here in Lincoln, Nebraska, and I'm so excited about that. I'm sitting in front of a window and lots of sunshine. We've had some bitter cold that was not fun at all, but all of a sudden it disappeared and it's getting warmer and we're getting closer to spring. So let me see. I'm not seeing comments yet. I take my glasses off because they glare so much on the screen, but let's see if I can see anyone commenting yet. Hopefully people will comment. Let's go. There's a thumbs up. I see that. So I think I'm live in at least one place. So let me know where you're watching live. I'm going to go ahead and pull up I have my iPad here, so I'm going to also pull that up to make sure I'm seeing myself on Facebook at least. It does say I'm live. Let's see my face. Yeah, there I am. Cool. Okay. All right. Awesome. Okay, Judy's here and Julie's here. Perfect. So I know you're seeing me now. Alrighty, we're going to get started. I'm going to click down. What do I click here? Here we go. There's my workspace. And then also I'm going to bring up my bundle that we're using today. I'm kind of learning how to do all this stuff. So Delightful Wishes, there we go. So this is what we're using today, the Delightful Wishes bundle, and it is so perfect for spring. It has so many cute dies in it and stamps, and just everything is really cute. Okay, I'm going to put my hands here. My iPad right in front of me has frozen, so hopefully yours is not. Let me bring this down here out of the way. Well, we don't really need it actually, so let me just go ahead and get rid of that for a moment. There we go. Okay, this is a card we made a couple weeks ago. It's a fancy fold. If you missed that, you can find it on my YouTube channel. Now Facebook, here's something I just want you to know, that Facebook is only keeping live recordings for 30 days. So the only place to watch past recordings 30 days older would be to go on YouTube. So just make sure you find me. You can find me Create with Joey on YouTube, or you can also, if that doesn't come up, you can try Joey Hartman, Stampin' Up. Okay, so that's this one. Now, this today is a craft along, and what that means is that you are able to pre-order everything that we're using today. And I prepped your product so that you could go ahead and stamp with me. So if you did that, you got a kit that looks like this with all your card pieces cut and all 4 cards in it. I sent you the PDF tutorial, and so hopefully you have that. This will also go to anybody that puts in an order this week that's $45 or more. It's still celebration, you guys. So you get a free gift with every $60 purchase. So this is a host code. Use this one in order to you can get the kit. You just won't have the extra products with it. So if people pre-ordered, they got all the card kits. You will also get that if you put in an order this week. And then they also got a half a pack of the, what is it called? Floral Delight Designer Series paper. A whole pack, this is mine, I'm going to use this today, of gems. And then also a bolt of this beautiful yellow ribbon that has already sold out once. So they got all that. And so their cards are ready to craft with me today. So that's pretty fun. I'm excited to share these cards with you. these are the stamps and dies as they come in the kit. There are a lot of dies, and we're going to work with almost all of them today. We're not working with these word die cuts. That's why I wanted to show you that other card that I made so that you could kind of see what those look like in action. But for the rest of this, we're using most of these today. Not all of them, but quite a few of them. Okay, let's get started with that. I'm kind of futzing with this, and we really just need to get on with it. So I'm going to put this aside. I just don't want this die to come off. Let's try putting it somewhere up here. There we go. That'll be better, I think. Okay, good. All right, so we're ready. If you're crafting along with me, then you pre-ordered the kit. I'm going to go in the order of the PDF. So in the PDF, the first card is this one, the happy birthday card with the separate pieces of designer series paper. So we're going to start with this one today. Let's go ahead and start stamping. Oh my goodness. This, I'm just so happy to see spring. So I don't know if your cards were in the order they are in the PDF, but I have mine in that order, so it won't be hard for you to put them in that order if you're crafting along with me. Or, you always have the replay available to come back and watch. It'll stay up on YouTube indefinitely, but it won't stay on my Facebook page as we've already talked about. So you'll have all these pieces in your kit. You'll have your card base. You'll have 2 pieces of basic white that are 4 by 5 1/4. One goes on the inside and one goes on the outside. You'll have this circle cut for you. This is from the Spotlight on Nature. Yeah, Spotlight on Nature dies. You'll have both of these circles cut for you. This is also the Spotlight on Nature dies, and this is a punch. I think 2 3/8, but I wouldn't swear to that. Let me just double check that. I think it's the, yes, 2 3/8 and circle punch for your products. And then you have a scrap paper for your greeting. And then I did not cut your DSP for you, so I sent you instructions ahead of time. Again, if you pre-ordered the kit, you have the instructions for how to cut your paper. So, well, actually, let me get out the PDF. So in the PDF, it says, let's put this aside for a second. I'll put these over here. I'm going to try and stay in the center, so if you're watching on your phone, you can still see everything. Let's get that aside for a second. These pieces of designer series paper, the biggest one is 2 1/4 by 3 1/2, and I did send you a diagram of that, but I also put it in the detailed instructions. So you have this. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and adhere this to my cardstock, my basic white cardstock, and I'm going to put it just like about with 1/8 of an inch, and I'm going to not actually press it down just in case I have to move it around a little bit. This one is 2 1/4 by 3 1/2, and then an alternate color or an alternate designer series paper that goes below it. This one is 1 1/2 this way by 2 1/4. So let's go ahead and put that one down on your cardstock. This design, I just want to also give credit to, I got this from Melissa Faust, Stamp with Melissa. She had this on her website, and I asked her if I could case this card, and she said yes. So let's see. I don't think these really have a direction, but I think I was kind of looking at those flowers together, and I kind of liked how that looked. There is a little space between your DSP, so there's also about 1/8 of an inch space between your paper. And this one, did I say, is 1 1/2 by 3 1/2? And then your last one is a square, which is 1 1/2 by 1 1/2. So let's go ahead and put that down. Very simple to just cut up your designer series paper, cut up coordinating paper, and just use these measurements, and it's already really pretty. It doesn't even really need hardly anything else. But we are going to stamp today. Let's go ahead and put on, I'm going to put this on the front of our card, and then we'll do some stamping. So this is how I have it on your sample card. Let's go ahead and get this down. And then this goes on the inside. This is happy birthday. So what do we have? We could put lots of love on the inside. I think I have that mounted up here. Yes, I do. Lots of love. So we should go ahead and let's use, we're going to have pecan, what is this? Pecan pie. Lots of pies. Pecan pie, peach pie. Lots of love. Tap, tap, tap on my ink pad so I don't get too much ink on my stamp. I might have to get my head in the picture here. So, right here. There we go. And then I think what I'm going to do for this one, I want a little bit more on the inside. So, I think I'm going to go ahead and stamp a flower on the inside of this. There's lots of green and yellow on the inside. So let's go ahead. I don't actually remember from this. These are two-step stamps. I don't really remember which was easier to stamp, the detail first or the filling in stamp first. So I'm going to try on this one the filling in first. Let's see what happens with that. I did try to mount these like so that it looked like they were lined up pretty well before I even started my stamping, but I don't know for sure. This particular stamp, let's see, this is lemon, yeah, this is lemon lolly, so this is the light one. Let's put up here. And then I'm going to put Daffodil Delight over the top of this. Now, if you don't have this exact stamp set, you know, you can always kind of trying to see over the top of that flower. And, you know, for this particular two-step stamping, I think that's about as close as I get. You might be able to line them up a little bit better, but to me, it doesn't look like it actually does fit exactly, but I think it's really pretty any way that you look at it. So I went ahead and just stamped it. I don't think you have to worry too much about lining it up is what I'm trying to say. Okay, let's do some leaves for this card because then it looks like it goes with the front, like so. There we go. Because see how these flowers go? They've got that double leaf coming out. So anyway, so now the inside looks like the front of our card, which I'm happy with that. So let's go ahead and put this on the inside. Such a pretty card. I did sit out on my porch today, you guys. I took Teddy out, our puppy, multi-poop puppy. I took him outside out the front this morning, and the sun was shining so warm on the porch. I didn't even have my coat on. I got to sit out, and it was so good. Okay, now we're going to stamp our flower, and I might actually get out my mat here. This, I do believe, is a forsythia plant. And now again for this, I think I started with the stem. These were, I found a little bit challenging to line up, but the more I stamped with them, the more I kind of figured out how to fit everything together. So we're going to start with the stem first. Better get out my sample so I kind of know what I'm doing here. And I don't even know where my sample is. Oh, wow. Oh, that's kind of weird, you guys. I don't think I got out my sample cards for this. I just have my PDF here. Oh, well, that's right. We know what to do. I'm going to stamp this guy, kind of starting in what I would say on a circle, the right lower circle, and I'm going to have it kind of curve up to the left like this. So then you get these open spaces here. Then we're going to, I think I did the filler part of the flowers first on this one as well. So I'm going to go back to Lemon Lolly. Let's get that one out. We don't need all this mess. I can see there's a lot of mess. If you're watching and your screen is a widescreen, if you're not watching on your phone or a tablet, which Facebook cuts that out and it makes you stay in a vertical view, which is kind of annoying. Let's see, this goes like this. So these two little tiny flower leaves at the top, they go at the top of your stem here. I guess I got my stem a little bit too high actually too. Well, you know what? Let's see. Just trying to get this lined up like, you know, I think I went way too high. I'm going to redo this. Hang on. Let's turn it over. And I'm going to bring that stem down a little bit more. Hopefully you didn't stamp it exactly the way I did. But if you did, turn yours over too. And then let's stamp this together just a little bit lower. Okay, so I'm going to go like this. I'm going to come down a little bit farther on my circle. Like so. I think that'll be better because my flower, the top of my flower wasn't going to fit on. So again, we're going to go back to our Lemon Lolly, and then we will, I'm going to line this up. Yeah, this is better. So those two little flower petals, they go at the top of this, and I'm turning it so that this flower goes with that stem. I'm kind of looking at the bottom of it now to see if those flowers line up, and they line up pretty well. Okay, there we go. I think that's, yeah, that's pretty good. And the forsythia, isn't it so pretty for, whoops, I dropped my stamp, for spring. Now we're going to make this stamp cherry blossoms too. This is a multi-flower kind of stamp. All right, let's go to our Daffodil Delight. And then we'll stamp the detail of this flower, put our card together, and this card is just about done. Let's grab our detailed stamp. Where is that? Okay, here it is. And let's ink that up. And now, again, this is going to be hard for you to see on the camera, but I'm looking, actually I think it should go this way, for what goes into this flower. So I think it's those two little lines at the top. So I'm going to, yes, and it does, because then you can see the second flower lines up and all the flowers start to line up. So I'm heading for that top two flower. Let me see one more time. Yep. And then these guys, I'm kind of looking, the bigger ones I'm looking for how to match it up on the branch. So I'm just kind of going, that doesn't look like it's on the branch. Let's go like, I think I had to turn this quite a bit more. I'm looking at the branches on the bottom of the flowers. Like this. Yeah, I think like that. I don't know if that's going to be good or not. Oh, pretty good. Look at that. Actually lined up really well. So it does take a moment, at least it does for me, to kind of get those flowers lined up. You just have to look for where the flowers hit the stem, the ends of their little stems. That's what I did for that. Now the leaves are kind of the same deal. So let's get out the leaf stamp and our old olive ink. I'm going to move my ink pads, everybody. Just hang on for a second. I know my arm's probably in the camera, but I have a new setup because I bought a stand for my camera and all these fancy schmancy things to use my new software going live. But I just really had to do it because there was no way, going to be no way to store my videos on Facebook. They absolutely have to go to YouTube. Okay, now I'm lining this up. I think these this 2 little stems goes right over there, and I'm kind of looking at the rest of this. I don't know if this is right or not, honestly. I'm kind of looking at the bottom of this for those 2 bottom stems to line up. I don't know if that's right or not, but I think it looks okay. It looks like, yeah, it looks like the stems come out. So, you know, if you don't get this perfect, no one cares. It's a handmade card. You might care, but you know, the person that you give it to isn't going to care at all. And look how pretty the detail is that with the 2-step stamping. Just makes a really pretty flower. Okay, we got that done. So now we're ready to just do our card. Well, we're going to do some little die cutting. Let's do that first. So this is a happy birthday greeting. I'm going to stamp it in pecan pie, where is it? Okay. Anyway, as I said, I kind of have a new setup because of all my fandangled equipment. So my ink pads aren't where I usually keep them for when I used to do just Facebook Live. Okay, I'm lining this up, the scrap paper. You have this in your kit. I'm lining it up on my grid paper. I think it kind of helps me. And I'm kind of looking right to left to line it up straight. Although we're going to die cut this, you don't have to worry too much about getting it lined up. There's a sweet, sweet die in this set of dies. It's a labeled die, and I think I used it for actually all of the cards. So let me get that out. It's this one that we were fiddling with earlier. And then let me get my die cutting machine out. So, just a reminder, it's celebration, and the best deal right now, honestly, is to get the starter kit. You just get so much more for your money right now during celebration, and that's only 2 more days. I'm going to get the tape out here. You can get $155 worth of product for just $99 without any tax. So if you don't have a die cutting machine, it's the perfect deal for you. And then all your purchases after that will qualify for celebration free things, so you can go right in and shop right away and get your discount, your 20% discount, and then also your $60 purchases count for getting a free celebration gift. And then you can be a happy shopper and just shop at a 20% discount for the rest of March and then all of next quarter before you have to put in another order. So, and you don't ever have to put in another order. You can just get the starter kit and take advantage of that, and you don't have to do anything else. Stampin' Up! Doesn't require you to sell anything, doesn't push you to sell anything. I don't, as a member of my team. And I have a really sweet group of ladies. Most of them are hobby demonstrators. Most of them don't sell to other people, but some do, and some have very good businesses going too. So we have every kind of stamper on our team. Okay, let's go. If you want to know more about that, just message me, and I'm happy to share with you all the benefits of joining with me. My team is called the Stampin' Sweethearts, and they are sweethearts. They truly are. Alrighty, let's go ahead and finish this sweet, sweet, beautiful card. I'm going to grab that die cut circle that I gave you in your kit, or if you put an order this week and to get this kit, you'll have all this done for you. I don't do any stamped images in your kits because Stampin' Up! Doesn't allow us to do that. And see, I'm going to pop this one up, I think. And oh gosh, I might be running out of dimensionals. We made a lot of tags for kits going out yesterday, and I bet my helper used all my dimensionals. Let me get some out here. We'll get some out. What was I saying? I think about my team. Just really sweet girls. We'd love to have you. We do a meeting once a month on Zoom and in person. So those that are local can come in person, And those that aren't local can join us on Zoom if they want to. It's all optional. None of it's required. You don't have to participate at all if you don't want to. But we do card swaps. The girls do, we all do. That's also optional, but most of us participate in a card swap. So we all make the same amount of the same, we make the same amount of the same one card. So I'll design a card and then I'll make however many join the swap to share that card with. So whether it's 6 or 10 or however many. And then we swap them, you know, like a cookie swap at Christmas. That's always really fun. And then if you're long distance, I'll send all that to you. Okay, didn't this turn out pretty? I think it just went really pretty. Now, what I did for this one, because it doesn't fit the whole greeting, is I just cut this end off to do happy birthday. So I did a little snipping here, just like that. And then this, I just left the other end, and we're going to put a bow there. So that's how I did this one. So it just says happy birthday on the front of it. Now for this is going to kind of come across our card like so. Actually, let's put the bow on first. Let's tie our ribbon. So, and if you order the kit this week, I'll send you enough ribbon to do your cards. Again, you won't get all the supplies that the people that pre-ordered got, but you'll get enough to make these 4 cards. Okay, here we go. Now my laptop or my iPad here keeps freezing and then unfreezing, but my phone is hooked in to my computer, which is hooked into the house internet, and so we should have no interruptions. Praying we don't. And I'm not seeing your comments, so I'll check the comments in a moment. That bow wasn't very good. Let's redo that quickly. You know, the thinner ribbon is just a little bit harder to tie with, especially when you're jibber-jabbering on Facebook. Not paying as close attention as maybe you should. Trying to keep that flat. I'm putting a pretty big loopy bow on this one. Let's grab our scissors. This isn't my sharp scissors. That's my paper scissors. Let me grab my other one. There we go. This one's sharper. Yeah, this one I only use for ribbon. I have a little reminder on it that a ribbon charm. That means it's just for ribbon. And I recommend you do that. You probably do that anyway, but just don't cut cardstock with your ribbon scissors. Now this I'm going to put kind of right down here to kind of look like it's coming off the stem of my forsythia. And then for this, let's see how we want to put this. I'm kind of feeling under it to see where there are dimensionals and where there aren't, because I'm going to put some mini dimensionals on this. Looks like back here there aren't any. Then you don't get that bulkiness in your card when you send it that requires extra postage. So let's go like this. I'm going to kind of tuck that in there. Oops, I think I did this backwards. No? That's okay. There's where gotta kind of feel where it should go. What is wrong with this? This is annoying me. I think we actually need another dimensional on top of this one, because I forgot I stacked that one up with the dimensional. So let's put a second one on that one that's going to kind of go off the side here, like so. And then I've got to stand up and get this straight. Sorry about this. Let's get this going straight here. And then actually, I think, you know, my original card, I'm going to put 2 dimensionals on this one as well. on the very end of this because it's just kind of flying in the air. We don't want our tags and labels flying in the air, my friends. So sometimes you have to put 2 dimensionals on. There we go. There we go. That looks good. And let's grab our gems. And let's get some of these really pretty. Now these are called, what are they called? Low profile. And that makes them so nice for mailing because they're not going to get ruined when they go through the, you know, the machines at the post office. So you have 2 colors here. One is pretty much gold straight up, and the other one is kind of like petal pink. I don't remember what. Come on, what is going on with this for today? I think it's kind of it's a pink for sure. But I thought the gold ones looked really pretty with this paper. Let's see, let's put this one up here. Let's put it up here. There we go. There's our first card. Happy birthday, lots of love. So what do you think of this card? Would you cut up your paper into pieces like this, or would you just cut up one piece of DSP? Either one is pretty. This just kind of changes it up a little bit. Alrighty, the next one in our PDF is the Lots of Love one that has the pool party background. So in your kit, it will be this one that has the vellum DSP already cut for you. Now that I did cut for you in your kit this time. So I'm going to pull all this out. Now I did a little die cutting ahead of time just because there's a lot to the die cutting for this card. So I wanted to have some of it done, but I'm going to show you how to do it. So in case you haven't seen it, then you'll see how to do it. So for this one, you have to also 2 pieces of white. Let me get this out of here. One is smaller than the other. So the smaller one is the one that goes on the front, and the larger one is the one that goes on the inside. And yes, I always include the inside white panels on your cards for you. When you get a kit from me, you get everything to make your card. Except the gems. No, am I sending gems? Yes, I think I have gems to send with this one. I don't always send gems, but I do always send ribbon or twine or whatever I'm using. All right, let's put our card aside and let's put this vellum on. Isn't this vellum so pretty? It's just gorgeous. We're going to put, this is 1 by, I think, 3 3/4. Let me check. Nope, that was totally wrong. 4.5. 1 by 4.5. Now, I have noticed with this vellum that the Stampin' Seal Plus doesn't show. Vellum is kind of tricky when you're trying to adhere it because it will show your adhesive on some of them. But now this one, it doesn't really show. So we can try it. Let's try it with regular Stampin' Seal and see if it shows. Does that show? No, I don't think that's going to show either. I know that Stampin' Seal Plus doesn't show, so I started with that one. And these flowers, I don't know that they have a direction, but it looks to me like maybe they have a little bit of a direction. And again, we're just going to put, hey, you guys, I think I cut this wrong. I know I did, because our piece is too long. I'm sorry. This should be 4.5 as well. Let me check the directions because I'll need to change this. Yes, it is 4.5. I just didn't cut your vellum correctly. I cut it too long. So I apologize for that. Let's get out our paper trimmers and let's go. Let's get this cut down to 4.5. Put this up here so you can see it. Now there's adhesive on it, which is not ideal. Let's go up here and cut this. So I cut it 1/4 of an inch too long. So it should be 4.5. So let's trim that up a little bit. And now we should be good to go here. Let's try it. And I'm not seeing your comments. I'm sorry. I will go back and go through all the comments and answer any questions you have. And let's go ahead and put this on our card front. Is there a ribbon around this? No, there's no ribbon on that. And then we'll do our die cutting. So we're just going to center this piece on the front of our card. I love this vellum. I think it's so pretty for spring. All right, now I do have a little bit of die cutting done, as I said, but we're going to do some more today. So let me grab all the pieces. This is how we're going to do this. So in your directions it says for the large flower, you need to cut the biggest background piece in Lemon Lolly. I'm just going to put these out here in Lemon Lolly. Then your detailed piece for the large flower is going to be in Daffodil Delight. Then you're going to cut 2 leaves of the larger background. So here are the way the leaves work. So there's this one. That's the, the base of the leaf. So we need 2 of those, and then we need 2 of the inside of the leaf, which is this one, kind of hidden here. We need 2 of this one in Mossy Meadow. And then we need the inside, that's not the right word, Joey. The, gosh, I can't think of what I'm talking about. The center of the flower. Now, I have already done the medium flower, but you will need to die cut that medium flower out of the same Lemon Lolly, the detailed flower for that medium one out of Daffodil Delight, and then this is the die that cuts the medium flower center and the small flower center. So, because there's 3 sizes of flowers, so we need that. Is that all we need? Yes. Now, no, I lied. So you also need the small leaf on the old olive and the small leaf detail on the Mossy Meadow. So this is how you're going to die cut these if you're crafting along with me. And for the leaves, you're going to need 2 of each of these. 2 large outside and detail of the leaf and 2 medium outside and inside. Okay? Now, I'm going to get out my die cutting machine and we're going to go ahead and get this die cutting done. Now, if you are crafting along with me, if you pre-bought the kit, I sent you suggestions for how to be able to actually craft along with me today, because I often do quite a bit of it ahead of time, just for the sake of not making the video so super long. Okay, let's go here like this. You may not be able to see all of this getting done online, but I do want to show you how to do it. Let's get this all done here. I'm going to cut these pieces smaller just so we only have to go through one time. I think I gave you plenty of scrap paper too. So there's for all the inside of the flowers. Is it called the stamen? I can't think of what it's called. The center of the flower. Pete's sakes. Okay, let me cut these quickly. Sorry, this is taking a while. Which is why I did do some of it ahead of time. So these are the insides. And then these, I'm going to cut are the outsides. Okay, so there's all that. And then we're going to run it through. Just trying to make sure everything stays on the plate. And then where is my top plate? That's I keep a really clear one for Facebook, and then when I lay it down, I can't find it because it's so clear. I can't see it anywhere. So where the heck is it? Here we go. Okay, let's get this over here. Get this all die cut. So, hold on. I don't really want to take the time to tape all this down. So we're going to just, that moved. So now I have to move that, smooth this over. Okay. Now, let's try. I usually put the plate on and then I try and hold it down on the right with my left hand while I get it started so it doesn't move and the dies don't move. And usually with these dies, they've been pretty good at just cutting on one pass through. So hopefully that's the way we did it today. All right, let me get everything sorted out here. Get these put back on our... This is a magnetic holder that I get from another company. It doesn't come from Stampin' Up. It comes from a company called... Oh, what is it called? I'll think of it. There's the inside of the leaf. And die. Get this out. The other cards do not have this much die cutting on them, so they're not going to take as long, the ones that we have left to do. But I wanted to show you, there's no point in doing this stamp set if you don't use the dies, because look at all these gorgeous dies. Okay, so let's get these on here. Here's our big flower. Here's the, or rather our medium flower, calling it medium. In your directions, I called this the medium flower. Here's our flowers. And now this part. Get these all out of here. Now, the nice thing about this stamp set, if you are die cutting, is you can cut out a lot of pieces at one time, like we did. And yes, it takes a few minutes to get it all set up. But then when you can go with just one pass through, you got her done. So let's just do all that. I don't want to lose those tiny pieces. And then we'll get rid of this and this and this. These are done. Okay. Okay, yes, that takes a while. But when you're done, the result is so pretty. So let's go ahead and put some of our flowers together. Now I have gone ahead and put together my medium-sized flower for you so you don't, because this one's going to be similar to what we're doing right now. But I did want to show you how to die cut everything so that you you know what colors go with what. I did put that all in the directions, but you know, I don't know. I'm a visual learner. I like to see what's happening. It's nice to have the written so that you can keep checking for measurements, etc. All right, let's go ahead and I have one leaf done, and I was going to show you how to do one leaf. And for this one, I'm going to use the bigger one. So let's go ahead and put some Tombow glue on the detail of the big flower. And then now, whoops, I don't know, how does this go? Kind of have to look at this for a minute. Let's see. Okay, that looks like a double flower right there. Yeah, that looks like it fits. Maybe not. keep looking at this. This is what I have to do with my dies. Sometimes I have to just keep turning it until it looks like it fits. I think we're getting closer. Yep, there we go. There we go. I think that's right. I don't know. You know, if you can't tell, then that no one else can tell either. Let's go ahead and put a little bit of Tombow on this leaf detail. And we'll go ahead and put this down like so. And now we need our flower center. And for this one, I used the bigger one. This one. I think I used that one. Well, we're going to use it today. Little dab of glue. I was going to say a little dab will do, yeah. How does this flower go? I think it goes like that. I could be wrong about that. Whoops. Well, come on. A little bigger, spreading out my glue just a little bit more. And then there we go. Now, what I do for my leaves usually is I go ahead and I think on these leaves, I was going to say, yeah, I think they go like this. I don't know. I think they'll look good either way. Any way you want to do it, that's the way I'm going to do it, and we're going to call that good. So I usually put my leaves together before I put them on my card. No, I don't think that. I think it goes like this. You do yours however you like it. And then I just kind of put them, well, I could go that way, or we could go that way. I guess that doesn't matter because they're facing the same way. So my glue dot's on this one, so let's just go that way. Now, I'm going to not put this all together yet. So I'm going to get my card out here. And then the greeting. So I did go ahead and die cut this greeting. Yours is not die cut, but you did get the paper to die cut it with. I gave you all the scrap paper that you need. Or if you, as I say, if you order this week, you will also get everything you need in your kit. And this time we're gonna stamp lots of love. And we're going to stamp this towards the left of our little banner here. Lots of love. Hopefully I got that straight. Oh, not too bad. Usually it's better to stamp when it's white on white with a white background to get out your one of your darker mats or even darker cardstock. You can see better. Okay, my friends, that is everything for this card. So let's go ahead and put our card together. For this one, I think I did it like this. I think I put this on first and then this. I think I did. So let's go ahead and try it like that. And again, I'm going to use my mini dimensionals here. Hopefully I'm staying in the center. You guys still with me? These are pretty detailed today. It's such a gorgeous bundle. All the stamps are so pretty. And I love Forsythia because well, it's pretty, most of all, because obviously it's spring. But the main reason is it does mean spring is here. So I'm going to put all these guys here. These little dimensionals. Now I'm just taking off the backings. I know when I was a little girl, I remember so many Forsythia bushes in our neighborhood. I'm going to put this down maybe like a third of the way up from the bottom or so, like there. And then I'm going to put this flower right over the end of that, this smaller flower, the medium-sized one. There's, as I said, there's, oops, I want the small dimensionals. There's 3 sizes of flowers. There's big, medium, and now for this, I want it to stick there. Let's see, we could do another dimensional out here. like. Now, for the rest of this, I'm going to put the rest of the flower, I'm saying. For the back of the flower, I'm just going to run my tape runner down it a little bit right there. Then isn't this so pretty with the pool party? I think it's so pretty. Pool party ribbon, and we're going to kind of cover up that greeting, but now we're going to put this flower on. And for this one, I'm going to have the leaves go. Let's see, those go that way. Let's kind of have the leaves go maybe like this. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so I'm going to put a mini glue dot on the back of this one, or on the front of the leaves rather, for this one, and then find the way my flower goes. I think my flower goes like that. And I'm going to kind of tuck that petal in under that smaller petal, but I also don't want my leaves to go past the edge of the card, so we kind of have to be careful with that. Okay, now let's get some dimensionals on this guy. This is a little putsy, my friends, so if you are not a putzer, you might be going, I just want to stamp. I don't want to do all that putzing around with the leaves and all that stuff. But for those of you that like a lot of detail, this is for you, because this is so pretty. All right, let's go ahead, and I'm going to tuck that big, and I'm watching over here so I don't get off of the edge of the card, and there it is. Isn't that pretty? There's a lot, there's a lot to that die cutting, obviously, but it just really pays off when you finish your card. Let's go ahead and make this bow. And we'll do it like this. Now, my friends that came in person last week, we made these cards last week. So I get everything prepped for the in-person class, and then I send it out. It's a week before my my craft along online. They come in person. If you're close in Lincoln, Nebraska, I'd love for you to come stamp with me. We do in-person stamping as well as online stamping. So let me trim up my bow a little bit. I'm going to put this bow, down there. That'll work. Let's go ahead, and this is just a thinking of you card, just sending lots of love to someone. I just know some people that are going through a really tough time right now. So a card like this would just really make someone's day. The other day, Maggie, I don't know if you're watching. I haven't seen who's watching, but Maggie is a person that watches pretty often. She's in my card club. She sent me the most beautiful card. I was struggling, honestly, with seasonal affective disorder because it's been so bitterly cold. And I shared that online, and she sent me the most beautiful thinking of you card. It just made my day. Okay, kids, I can't find my tools. Here we go. Now, let's put gold ones on this card as well. Let's do a couple up here. I pretty much always do my gems in threes. I put two together and then one. Let's see, maybe here. And I think we'll move that. Oh, let's just put more on. That's the way to solve that. Of course, I want it to stick to my finger. And then we'll put one more up here. 3 or 5. That's what I usually do. I think that looks pretty. I hope you enjoyed that card. Now, the others are going to be faster and simpler. Well, that's not really true. The next one has a lot of steps too. These are all over the top cards, so I'm hoping you're enjoying seeing how to use this stamp set. I did do some of the cutting ahead of time on this one as well. So in your PDF, this is the next card. So this one is also not my creation. This is from a Canadian demonstrator, and I cannot say her name. If I think of it, I will let you know in the comments when I post this, when I do the final posting. All right, for this card, you have a soft sea foam base. So that's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. You have, what else have we got here? We've got a pool party panel, and we've got, I also sent you a gold piece of gold to do some die cutting. I did some of mine ahead of time just to make this go a little bit faster. And then you have this panel for the front. So we're going to do a little more die cutting, and then we will be ready for this card. Now for this one, what I did is I put an adhesive sheet on the back of my gold foil, because these gold stamps are going to be glued down to our pool party piece. So, and then they're going to show through the die cutting, these little die cutting holes right here. So let's do just a little bit of die cutting on this. I already die cut this once with this gorgeous die, and then we'll do the bottom as well. We'll do that, and then we're going to do one more gold branch, stem, whatever you want to call it, and then we're ready to actually do this card. So I'm just going to do this off camera just to save a little time. I'm very close to the camera, so you can still talk to me if you've got comments. But I'm not right next to my computer, so you might not hear me quite as well, but here we go. I'm die cutting. And now we're all done with that. I just think this die is so special. It's so pretty. And it cuts out right away, you know, like it cuts all the little bits out. You don't have to do a lot of brushing. I am going to get my brush out just to brush off all these little pieces of tiny pieces of paper. But everything die cuts really clean. With our die cutting machine. Now, I mentioned that option. If you want to get a die cutting machine, you can join now, and that's the best deal for you to take that $155. It's normally you get $125 when you join throughout the year, worth for $99, but during celebration you get $155. You get that extra $30, and the die cutting machine is $130. So it is a way to get the die cutting, good way to do the die cutting. Okay, let's get everything else ready, and let's do some blending. We're going to use a pool party ink pad. I'm going to get some scrap paper back down here just so I'm not making a mess on my workspace that you have to look at the whole time. I'm just taking a small blending brush and I'm putting it on my card, and then I'm going to just brush a little bit in the middle. It just kind of brings in that pool party cardstock that's going to be in back of it. So it's not going to be too noticeable. It's going to be very, very subtle. I don't even know if you can see it on the TV, or on the on the video. Okay, let's do a little bit more. You do want it to show, but it's just going to be very, very subtle. Okay, there we go. That's good. Good for that. Then, now, what I said on your PDF is you're going to put these two branches down on your pool party cardstock. So now I have backing on these two. I did not put adhesive sheets in your packet, but hopefully you have them, or you know, if you're just really careful with your Tombow, you can make that work too. So I want this card to, I want these gold stamps to show. So I'm going to put this one kind of like I'm not going to stick this down too hard yet. Don't push it down because you might have to move it. And then let's take the backing off of our other gorgeous gold branch. I just thought this card was so pretty. I knew it was going to be kind of putsy, but I thought it was worth it. Now this one too. So we're kind of just going to fill up that background as much as we can. Kind of watching over here. I do want this branch to go all the way to the sides of the card like that, so you get as much on the card as you can. Now I think that's pretty good, so I'm going to go ahead and have a piece of my hair stuck in it. That doesn't work. And then press this down, and then you are going to need to trim this a little bit. Trim that one a little bit, and then we're just going to go over here. This is a Teflon scissors that I bought years ago, and so the sticky stuff doesn't stick to it, and these are sticky because I put the adhesive sheets on the back. Okay, there's your background. Isn't that pretty? Let's go ahead and put it on our card. So I'm going to go ahead and, let's see, how did I tell you to do this? We'll go ahead and put this on our card. We're going to put a pecan pie stem for our cherry blossoms. This is the one I said we're going to do one with cherry blossoms. We're going to change the forsythia flowers into cherry blossoms today. There we go. All right, now for this one, we're just going to pop this up. Isn't that pretty to see the gold through the little die cut? I just think that's so pretty. Now, we are going, okay, let me just talk this through with you. We're going to take this stem and it's going to go like this. So you can do one of two things. You can just glue this down like this. I do not have adhesive backing on this branch for a reason, because we're going to do some flowers and leaves that I want to tuck under it. So I'm going to go ahead and actually put dimensionals on this one, this panel. But you don't have to, because we're going to deal with that. As I said, we're going to deal with that branch going over the top of all this. So I'm also going to take some mini dimensionals, and I'm going to put those just on the corners here. Wants to stick to my fingers, like so. Okay, then we'll do our stamping and die cutting, and then this one is done as well. If you're watching on YouTube, I would love for you to give me a thumbs up if you're enjoying the video, and comment. Please do comment, and most of all, subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss my future videos. Okay, we're going to pop this up. I think I've got even margins all around. There we go. Okay, now we do some stamping and then die cutting. If you're watching on Facebook, I would love for you to like my page and follow my page. Let's see. That's for the forsythia branch, and I already cut mine. And so I did give you some scrap paper in your kit to do your stamping of your leaves and your flowers. So now for this, since we're going to make this cherry blossoms, we are going to use Flirty Flamingo ink. And let's get back to our scrap paper. And we'll get out our cherry blossoms. Now I'm going to make sure these are clean. That I did not. I want to make sure I cleaned them. I think I did. But just because we don't want to put, they were in Pool Party ink, we don't want that to go into our Flirty Flamingo ink. So I'm going to make sure these are clean. Because on Facebook, sometimes I get in a hurry and I don't always clean my stamps. But this is important today that we do clean these. Okay, now I'm going to take the fat part again. And I do always stamp with the two little flower petal going up. It just helps me figure out where to put what. And then I'm going to put this, let's see, on our scrap paper. Like so. So that's the big fatter part of our flower. Now I'm going to take the detailed part of our flower. And I'm going to line up again. Look for the two little stems at the top. See the difference? Like this is a whole flower down here. And I'm looking for those two tiny stems up there. And that's how I'm going to match up this flower. Huh. Although maybe for this one I should have stamped the... Ooh, that's hard to see. I probably should have stamped the... I don't know if I'm going to get this. I might have to redo this because I can't. I'm having a hard time seeing where... Oh, I did pretty good. But it might be easier for you if you haven't stamped this yet to stamp the detail first and then the big one or the flatter one, the fill-in stamp. Okay, there's that. Now we need some leaves too. So let's go ahead and get out our old olive ink. And then we're going to stamp. We're going to stamp 2 sets of leaves. So here we go. Let's do this one. And oops, we didn't stamp that. Very good. Let's do another one. There we go. Okay, now we're going to send all these through the die cutting machine. We're going to get out, where's the leaf stamp? Here's for the flowers. And then for the little leaf, where the heck is that guy? What the heck? I'm not seeing it here. Oh dear. Okay, well, what we'll do is we'll just cut out our leaves by hand. I know it's here somewhere, but I don't want to take any more time looking for it. Doggone it. Although it always worries me when I can't see a die right away. Are you like that? It makes me a little anxious. I'm like, where could it be? And I almost always find it. But I hate when I all of a sudden can't find a die. Okay, so this one we're going to look for those 2 flowers again to line up that top. And for this, I think I will put the tape down to hold this. Post-it tape. Let's go ahead and do this. Now I'm worried about my die. Doggone it, because I haven't used it since I made my sample cards and since the girls were here last week to make these in person. So I haven't had it out, which is a little worrisome. But it might have gotten put back with another set of dies, and I kind of know what I've worked on over the past few weeks, so, or past week anyway. Huh. Oh my. Okay, so let's get rid of all this. Here's all our flowers. We're going to use all those on our forsythia branch. Nope, cherry blossom. I got mixed up. Okay, now let's cut these out by hand. You guys still with me? Say hello if you're here. Say yep, still watching, or just came in to watch, or watching replay. And so this does have a die, my friends, but temporarily mine is missing. Okay, let's go ahead and I need 2 of these for this pretty blossom. There's just so many things you can do with this bundle. You know, there's all these beautiful stamps. We're going to use the flower stamps again on our last card, which are going to be very quick and easy, and you don't need a die cutting machine for our last one. So if you are like just starting this, I've got a card for you too. You don't have to have a die cutting machine to use this stamp set. Okay, that was our leaf that we didn't think was very good. So we're going to take these 2, all of our flowers, and let's get back to our card. Well, wherever that is. Okay, here we go. Here's the base of our card. Now, this is what I was talking about earlier. So this little branch is going to go across like this. And what I did for this guy is, I think I brought this all the way over here. I wanted my last flower to be over here. So I kind of put this branch to the end of this pool party piece, and then I snipped it off. So I'm going to blind that up with the pool party piece right there, and that's where my branch is going to go. Now I'm going to use mini glue dots because I did use dimensionals there. That was the dilemma. If you didn't use dimensionals, then you don't have to go to have this branch be on 2 different levels. But I did, and I did it purposely because I like the way it looked. Now I'm just going to tack down with mini glue dots the edges of some of these branches. I don't care that the whole thing is stuck down because again, I'm going from the edge over here to one that's built up with dimensionals. So the mini glue dots will work better in this case, better than, whoops, should have been on my little mat. Will work better than having this stuck down with an adhesive sheet. Now, if you stuck this down, or if you're sticking this down with just your tape runner instead of an adhesive sheet, I'm lining that back up there, and then I'm going to go up here, kind of like so. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. If you have if you put this on, okay, use your words, Joey. If you put it on an adhesive sheet, then you'll need to not put dimensionals on your white panel. And then you can tape down your branch flat, and it'll work perfectly that way too. Okay, let's grab this other leaf. Now let's just get our flowers on. Let's see, this one goes like that, I think. Let's put our single flowers down first. I have no idea what I did with my sample cards. They're probably sitting on the table in back of me, and I didn't grab them. I've had a lot of projects going. Tomorrow night is my club in person, so I've prepped those. If you're in my club, your kits are prepped, and they'll be shipped on Friday. Okay, I need to see how I did. I've got to get my PDF in here, and this is how I did this, guys. So does that make sense? So this little flower here is going to come up that branch. So let's see where we should put our dimensionals. Let's put a dimensional right on that one, right in the middle here. And then let's see, let's put a mini dimensional right there on that edge of that flower, and one on the edge of this flower. Okay, let's try that. You know, I make my cards at least 3 to 4 weeks before the class, and then I kind of forget, what did I do here? Okay, so we're going to make this little flower meet up with that branch, and then like so, like this. Make sense? Now, let's take our single flowers, and let's get, oh, we've got leaves first. Let's do the leaves. So this leaf, now I put a dimensional on this side, so what I can do with that is I'm going to tuck it under this branch, like right about here. Now I'm going to squeeze that mini glue dot so it doesn't stick my card to the envelope when I put it in. Make sense? Okay. And then if I would have die cut these, it would have cut off more of this stem right here, because it's kind of sticking out, and I don't really like that. I'll put a flower there, but you have the dies if you purchase this. And I also have this leaf die somewhere, Lord willing. Do you ever lose something like that and then that's all you can think about? Well, I'm just going to go with this. It'll be all right. I'm going to stick this in up here. I'm going to kind of scrunch. I'm kind of scrunching together the glue dot like that so it doesn't catch on anything. You might have a better way to do this. I didn't watch the demonstrator who made this card. I did not watch her. I just saw the card. So she might have had a better way to do all this, but I just thought it was so pretty with that gold peeking through and then all these sweet little cherry blossoms. When I was teaching, we took my students to Washington, D.C. to sing at the Capitol. And I want to see where all these flowers go. We went during when the cherry blossoms were blooming. Now this, I'm going to put this right here for this guy. You know what? I think this is wrong. Oh, well. Do I have 2 more flowers? Yeah, I have 2 more flowers. So one is going to go at the end of this branch. And one is going to go like down. Oh, shoot. Should go here. Because there's a branch there. That'll work, though. Let's put another dimensional on this guy at the edge of his flower petal. And anyway, have you guys been to Washington, D.C. during cherry blossom blooming? It is something everybody should do at least once in their life. It was so magnificent. Okay, I've got another die cut label here for the greeting, and this one is also going to be lots of love. I just used those 2 greetings primarily, and I'm going to grab that one. Let's see what we've got here. I haven't even looked at the screen to see what's happening. Looks like I'm still pretty much centered. Okay, I'm looking for that little lots of love stamp. I took a picture of my desk area before Facebook Live, and I'm going to take another one after. So you can see the big change that happens when I'm stamping online. Okay, now, oops, this lots of love. I'm just going to kind of even stamp this right in the middle here. Again, it helps me to line it up. You can always stamp first and then die cut, but it saves a little time, especially on live video. Okay, I'm going to just stamp this right over the top there. There we go. That looks nice. I thought the pecan pie looked really pretty with these colors. It looks nice with both the yellow and the flirty flamingo. Grabbing my snips here, and this one I'm going to also cut off here. And then let's just do looking at my sample. Yeah, I probably didn't really need to cut that off. You don't really need to. You can stick it under your flower, but we'll go with that. We're not redoing it for the sake of just for that. Now I'm going to stick on about 3, I think, mini dimensionals to give it plenty of security. Let's get out our tool. Get this on, and then we'll put some gems on, and then we'll do our last card, and it's very fast. Well, I don't know if it's very fast. It's pretty fast. There's no die cutting on it. Let's put this under here. And if you want to really get this fancy, let's see, kind of want to tuck in that edge. I kind of am not happy that I snipped it off. I don't think it needed it, but there we go. Isn't that pretty? Let's put some gems on this. So on this one, I put these pretty pink gems on it because there's pink on the card. So again, if you pre-order this, you have the whole pack of gems to spread it around. Let's put more. More is good. I got a text from my friend Diane that watches online, all the time. And she said, your sister and bling, she signed it, because we are the bling girls. I know a lot of you are bling girls too. Okay, there we go. And then I did send you an inside, or I will send it to you if you order this week, inside for your card. So let's go ahead and do that. Then on this one, why don't we stamp a little flower on the inside of this one as well? Let's do, how should we do this? Since I've already stamped my, well, you know what we could do? We could, I might take this off. Should have thought of that ahead of time. When you do that, all you have to do is get out your mat. And since it's rubber, you can stamp. Let's just stamp this flower quick. Get some. So there's a little bit of something on the inside. You know, you don't get that on Hallmark. You only get that on with stampers. Put that on the inside. And then let's grab our detail stamp. This flower stamp is just so, so pretty. Let's see. Where do I want this? Yep, like this. And we stamped off the flurry flamingo. Now we're going to, oh, I did it again. I was going to stamp the detail first and then the flower. But I did not do that. So, not great, but, you know, good enough. So that's good. Lots of love. And then we have this on the inside of our card. As I said, Melissa Faust also did this card, and then I also saw it on the demonstrator from Canada. I just cannot think of her name. I'll think of it, and I'll put it in the notes. Okay, let's go ahead with that. Okay, there's our cute little card. What do you think of that one? A little pretty on the inside. Thought the color combination was so pretty for this one. Okay, one more, my friends. I hope you're still with me. I might take a moment to just look through the comments to see what you're asking or chatting about. Let me go. I'll keep going here. Alrighty, our last card. Let me grab it out. Now in your package, you also have, you know, so you know what it is, because you might have some card kits sitting around that you haven't finished yet. So I always make sure that you know what this kit is. So I always include a picture of it, which I'll also do if you order this week as well. Okay, I am going to take a moment to look, see if I can find some comments here and see if we've got people watching. I'm trying to bring up the screen that shows the comments, and I'm not seeing it come up. Where is it? Where is it? What the heck? Here we go. There we go. Oh, Liz was watching. Julie's here. Julie, your son lives in D.C. Oh, thank you, Liz. Liz says it's sounding good on YouTube, looking and sounding good. Hi, Donna. So happy you're here. Oh, Diana's commenting. She loves the yellow and bright and happy color. These cards are awesome. Thank you, Diane. I knew you would love these cards. Diane is our putsy girl. Some of you might be loving the putts too. Hi, Martha. Is it blurry? It'll get better. What it does, I forgot to try and deal with that this week. I need to get that figured out. But it does eventually focus on what I'm making and on my hands, and then it clears up. So hopefully it's getting better. Okay, more of this gorgeous DSP. Let's go ahead and... This card is just stamping, my friend. So this is 4 by 5 1/4 on basic white thick. Okay, I'm looking at the screen now, and it looks pretty clear. So hopefully it cleared up for you. I forgot to figure that out. All right, this piece is 3 by 4. It's a size I use quite often, actually. I'm going to get out my piercing mat, which is good for stamping photopolymer, and some scrap paper. And then we're just going to like stamp, stamp, stamp. This is my favorite kind of stamping. from the very time I started. This is the last card in our PDF. As I said, this piece is 3 by 4. And the first thing we're going to stamp on this is the wishing, because we haven't used that stamp yet. And the whole name of the stamp set is Delightful Wishes. So we're going to get out our pool party. And let's go ahead and ink it up from the top. When it's a big stamp like this, I usually turn it upside down and ink it from the ink pad on top instead of stamping the stamp on the ink pad. All right, we're going to put this just right in the middle of this little piece of light, wishing. Then later we're going to put you a happy birthday. Well, let's just stamp that. While we're at it, let's just do it. We got the ink out. Let me get that stamp. All of a sudden my train of thought stopped. Not too unusual for me. I have squirrel brain pretty much all the time. Okay, now I think I gave you this skinny strip. What I did die cut it. So I kind of lied saying that you don't need to die cut anything for this, but you know what? I'm not going to die cut this. You can. It works with the die, but for the sake of time, plus I think it works fine just like that. I'll probably go ahead and trim it a little bit. Just trim the edges somewhat. And then we truly do have a card that doesn't have it's not necessary to have a die cutting machine. Let's set that aside. Now let's do these sweet little flowers. Let's see. We need for this lemon lolly. Now if you don't have lemon lolly, it's our lightest yellow. You can just stamp off Daffodil Delight one time, and that will lighten your base color of your flower. Now I think for this one actually, I think I'm going to stamp the Daffodil Delight first. So I'm going to put back the lemon lolly. Let's get out the Daffodil Delight, and let's do the detailed part of this flower first. I think it might be easier to match up that way. As I said, I don't remember whether I stamped the flower outline first. I'm going to just put this going lots of different directions. We'll start with 3 and see how we do. Now let's go to Lemon Lolly. Close up my Daffodil Delight. This is Lemon Lolly, which is our lightest yellow. And then let's see if this is gonna go. Oh, that looks pretty good actually. Let's try it. Yeah, I think that's good enough. I don't know. Let's try this way and see if that's better. I don't think you can do it wrong, honestly. They don't exactly match up no matter what you do, so I don't think you can do this wrong. I'm kind of trying to make a good guess at it and then just be done. Okay, we're going to go with 3. We might need more, but let's make sure we have room for leaves. Let's get out the leaf stamp and let's go to our old olive. Whoops. Keep bumping my light. That's a touch light. And so when I bunch it, or when I touch it, it turns off. That's not very helpful. Okay, let's get these leaves tucked in here. Let's see. Let's do this one first. I'll kind of sneak that in. Oh, I like that. These are such pretty stamps. They stamp such a pretty image. Let's see. With this one, let's go up here. And with this one, let's go down here. I love these stamps. They're just, I don't know, you know, this is the real joy of stamping for me. I mean, I love die cutting too, and you see me do a lot of it. We do a ton of die cutting today. But the true joy for me, I think we're going to need another flower here, kids. Let's do one more somewhere. I think this is too big of a space. Let's see. Maybe 2 flowers? Maybe. Let's see. We have another stamp that we're going to use to fill in with, but I think we need more. So again, I'm going to go to the detail stamp. I just want to make sure I have room for, you know, everything else. Let's do one kind of off the paper here. And let's do one off the paper over here. Now we've got 5. That's usually good for artistic reasons. They say groups of 3 and 5 are the most pleasing to the eye. Now we've got lemon lolling. Let's stamp that one there. And then let's do this one. How's that go? Let's see. Maybe like so. But anyway, as I started to say, for me, this is just the most satisfying part of stamping. Some of you, I've shared with some of you, I've even shared on social media that I was really struggling with just the blues during all that bitterly cold weather and no sun. Ugh. And honestly, stamping is truly my therapy. It really is. I even put that in my hashtags usually. Let's see, how will we go with this one? Let's go this way with this one. It has always been my therapy. And when I first started stamping, I was working a very stressful secondary choral director job. All my choirs were, I had 4 to 5 choirs depending on the semester. They were all select choirs, very talented students. I loved teaching, loved it. But there's a lot of responsibility that goes with being a choir director of a lot of kids in choirs that want to perform. I mean, and I wanted them to perform. So we were out in the public performing quite a bit, and it's all I was doing until I found stamping. And then a friend invited me to a party. This is just a tiny little fill-in stamp. It's so cute. A friend invited me to a party, and I was kind of overwhelmed. Be honest, I was overwhelmed. And I probably wouldn't have started it, but she really, really wanted to start stamping. So we decided we'd do it together. We each bought like 2 or 3 stamp sets and 2 or 3 different colors of paper. And there were no personal die cutting machines at that point. And we got together. I had everything I owned was in one little blue basket. And I took that little blue basket over to her house once a week. And we would stamp, stamp, stamp. We would make all our cards for the month, all of our birthday cards, or anniversary cards, or anything else. We would make them for the month, each week. So I had a file at home. I don't have it anymore because I have too many cards to fit in a file. But I had a file, monthly file, so January through December, and I would put all the cards for that month in those files, and then when the month came, I was ready. I was ready for everybody's birthday. I had a list of whose birthday it was. Let's put this over here. And I would send out my birthday card. You know, I was so much better about it then. I still get them out for... Sometimes they're late, though. I was really on top of it then. Now they're on my, you know, my virtual calendar, which I do not think I do as well with as I did my written calendar. Wishing you a happy birthday. Isn't that pretty? Okay, let's put lots of love on the inside of this card, too. Why not? We should. I always like to put something on the inside of my cards. I mean, sometimes you're making a card and you're not sure what you're going to use it for, but in general, I like to. Let's see, what color should we do? Let's do green. It's going to show up better. Let's pull out the old olive. It's the darkest color we have on our card, so we'll use that. Lots of love. And then we should probably put a yellow flower on the inside. Let's do that. It won't take long to just do one more flower. Let's do that. I'm taking my Daffodil Delight, I think. Yeah, that's Daffodil Delight first. Let's stick this little flower up. Am I in the, probably not even in the view. Trying to get this done so I don't hold you up for the rest of your day. And obviously if you're watching replay, you can start and stop. Start and stop. But we're live right now, so there's no stopping. Okay. Martha, did it clear up? Did it clear up for you? Hopefully. Let's go ahead and find the green. I will get on that, my friends, this week. I said I'd do it last week, and I just forgot. There we go. Isn't that such a pretty card? It's so easy. Anybody can make this card, anyone. You don't have to be a long-time stamper to make this sweet card, and I think it's beautiful. It has a forsythia in the background. And then we just made more yellow flowers on the front, and then that little tiny blue sparkle. Maybe we should do that. Okay, I know I'm just dragging this on, but this is the fun part of stamping. Let's do some little. Isn't that pretty? Anyone would like to get this card. And anyone can make this card. So if you are like I was when I started stamping and stressed, well, I'm still stressed. I think most of us spend our life in somewhat of a stressful state. Let's put a ribbon on here. And you haven't started stamping, I recommend it. I was not artistic, so you don't have to be artistic. I didn't feel like I had an artistic bone in my body. I'd never done anything artistic. So you don't have to be the artist. Darn, I'm standing up. I probably need to sit down. The artists have done all the work for you. The artists that's stamping up, the people that design the paper, that design the stamps, design the dies, they're the ones that have a lot of talent, and you might have artistic talent too. I didn't feel like I did. I've come to think that maybe I have a little bit of creativity. I like to think that now. But at the time I started, I thought, okay, this is something that I can do. And it was very stress relieving, and it still is for me. I'm just going to tuck this. Well, let's see. On this one, I'm going to tuck this bow over here, like so. We need gems. We cannot put a card out without gems. Now, if it was for a man, but this probably wouldn't go to a man. It's pretty feminine and flowery. But if I am doing a card for a gentleman, I will sometimes still put bling on it, depending on it. This isn't a real frou-frou kind of bling. Let me grab my tool here. So we're going to put some gems on this guy. Let's put a couple down here. And let's put a couple, or maybe one up here. Could put it right on the flower. Oh, I love those colors together. Don't you think they're pretty? So what do you think, my friends? We made it to the end of these. These are all very over-the-top cards, all of them. Usually I try to keep my weekly class to faster, easier, not so detailed cards, but today we went all out with the delightful wishes. So you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say, which is your favorite? I would just say 1, 2, 3, or 4. That's all you have to put in the comments. Which is your favorite? I think my favorite is this one, or it might be this one. Between the two. I don't know. I'm not sure. I like them all. Obviously, I don't come on to show you cards that I don't like. Kathy Vaverka, thanks again for sharing these beautiful cards. Thank you, sweet Kathy. Liz, I always say like the shoemaker's kids are shoeless. I don't always get cards out. I've been better lately as my stash is full. That helps. Yes, mine too. Oh, Martha, good. Good picture. Once you send handmade cards, you can't send bought anymore. You're right, Julie. That's true. I will say that once in a great while, I buy a card for my husband. I'm going to go back to view of me so I can talk to you before we say goodbye today. I do sometimes buy a card for Steve, an anniversary card. Usually not birthday cards. I make all those, and usually I make the anniversary ones too. But sometimes I want a store-bought card, but that's about it. All the rest of my cards I make for everybody, my family, my friends, um, everybody. So thanks so much for joining me. I'm not seeing your comments. Let me look over here and see what card you like first. Donna, all the cards are beautiful. I love them. You're so sweet, Donna. You've been watching very often, and I'm so happy to see your name again. Wendy likes all look lovely. Diane, it's you guys are number one. Julie likes number one. Tried to I can't see this. The light glares on my computer, so I know that it's going to glare on my glasses, but I tend to quick and easy as I make multiples. Yes. Martha likes number 4. Okay. All righty. Good. Awesome. Okay, everybody. Thanks so much for being with me today. Again, if you'd like to get the supplies for these cards, just use the host code. I think I have it over here as well. Let me pull it. Oh, I lost my picture. There we go. Come on, come on, come on. I don't know what happened. Are you looking at my desktop? As I said, this newfangled program. There we go. I don't know if I lost you or if you lost me or not, but I do have on here, what do I have here? I've got, there's the bundle. What's this? Oh, and there's the host code. Let's take off the bundle. There you go. I'm getting fancy, you guys. I'm getting very fancy. I'm learning. I hope to see you on my next video. Thanks so much for joining me. You are loved. Bye-bye.